tube fares will rise next year by 4.6%, but in better news, bus fares will be frozen and will remain the cheapest in the UK. The 2025 fares package has just been announced by the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. It means that essentially fares on the London Underground, the London Overground and the Elizabeth line will rise by twice the current rate of inflation. But bus fares will remain at £1.75, and that includes the hopper fare, which allows passengers to change between buses all within an hour period.
Why have you chosen to increase tube fares by the figure of 4.6%?
What the government said to us was, look, we're doubling almost the amount of capital support you're receiving in 2025, 2026. There's a prospect now of, for the first time in my mayoralty, a decent long-term multi-year deal. But if it's the case that you don't raise the fares by the national increase, you have to feel the difference.
Did you feel that was a threat or an order?
It's not a threat or order, it's the reality of if we don't have money coming in from revenue from fares, the gap in terms of capital becomes bigger. The price for us is a long-term capital deal to renew, maintain and grow public transport in London. And just think about the possibility, new trains on the Piccadilly line, new trains on the Docklands Light Railway. We can have new signalling, really important on the Central line, the District line, the Metropolitan line, but also the prospect of the DLR being extended to Thamesmead, Baker Line extension south being unlocked, West London Orbital. All this only possible by long-term capital deal. And that's really important for London because our city's been neglected of capital investment for the last few years because of the Tory government.
These fares increases will bring in an extra £211 million to TfL's coffers over the next year. Sadiq Khan denies that he's been forced to increase the fares by the government, although the Transport Secretary at the time, Louise Haigh, did say a couple of months ago that she expected the Mayor to follow the increase in National Rail fares with a similar increase in his own train and tube fares, and that's exactly what he's done.
Now, the Department for Transport said today that in their view you were not forced to increase tube train.
I'm glad they've agreed with me.
By the same as the National Rail fares. Is that a fair reading, that it was not an order from the
There is no threats made from the DfT, no orders made from this brilliant new government. It's the reality of if we've got less money coming in from revenue, and there's a gap between revenue and capital. But what this brilliant government's done is almost doubled the capital investment we received for 2025, 2026. We're getting almost £500 million. Last year we received £250 million. But also the prospect of a multi-year, long-term capital deal, which I'm really excited about.
Did you feel there was any wriggle room in the actual tube and train fare increase that you decided?
Well, I think the compromise would have been you freeze tube fares. It means less money coming in for us to invest in capital. It could also mean less money being generated from the centre in terms of capital. The deal announced today to London is a very simple deal. Freeze bus fares. The poorest Londoners use buses, they'll really appreciate this. Those in outer London use buses more, they'll appreciate this. Freeze tram fares, really important to the community in Croydon. Keep the unlimited hopper. Everyone in London benefits from that. Londoners have seen the benefits of Superloop 1. We can now invest in Superloop 2, in the Baker Loop, in more buses in outer London. And so Londoners know, my experience of the last 8 years, where I can freeze fares, I will do so. Evidenced today by bus and tram. 5 of the last 8 years, all fares across TfL. The real prize though for us is the long-term multi-year capital deal. It's really exciting.
These new fares will come into force on March the 2nd next year. They will add 10 pence to a pay-as-you-go single tube journey in Zone 1. If you're using a travel card, that will increase by 4.6%, and also the cap on the number of journeys you can make before the sort of pay-as-you-go cap kicks in each day or each week will also increase by around 4.6%.